Even group. Haley, thank you.
Dimensional analysis is a tool used to convert from located.
You talk about the number.
Ladies and gentlemen.
It relies on accurate conversion.
Beautiful. If there's a question, just raise your hand. So you, like I said before, you might have learned the decimal moving system back in the day. You might have learned King Henry died drinking chocolate milk. Those are strategies for unit conversions. But you're learning a new strategy. You're learning a new skill.
He died for chocolate milk.
He did.
He died by drinking.
It was after he killed a lot of people. He like beheaded people. He was,
Yeah, chocolate milk, right?
I know.
Hey, what are you
Sorry.
doing? I thought this was lame.
Hannah's a nerd.
Huh? I'm a nerd?
Nerds are cool.
Is that what you said? Fucking. It's a Raj.
Blame that on me.
All right, any questions so far? Did anybody raise your hand if you put dimensional analysis on your foldable on Monday?
I didn't even see that word.
Teresa did, Haley did.
I didn't because I was already
Gabby did, yeah. Okay,
Oh, I did.
probably less familiar. Okay, so if you have it, great job because you identified something that was less familiar. This is where it's really going to matter. Okay, conversion factor. Did anybody put that on their foldable?
Yeah, I did.
All right. Here's an example of a conversion factor that you know already. $1 is always equal to 4 quarters, right? Or 100 pennies. What else is it equal to? 10 dimes. What else is it equal to?
20-something nickels.
20 nickels, okay? $10 bills equal to how many little single dollar bills? 10. These are facts, right? These are things that are always true. So keep this in mind. That's what a conversion factor is, okay? But you're going to be relying on your knowledge of the metric system, okay, for today's lesson. Okay, key point number 2. Hold on. All right, you can think of conversion factors, like I've already kind of alluded to, as unit facts. That's another way to think about them. Okay, that means they are statements about units that are always true. So if you're trying to write a conversion factor, because that's part of your objective, if you're trying to write a conversion factor, don't make up your own facts, okay? They need to be tried and true facts, something that you could look up in your book, or you could ask a scientist and he would say the same thing as you. So don't start making things up when you're writing conversion factors. You gotta spit the truth. And the whole truth and nothing but the truth. All right, you have a lot of these unit facts in your notebook already.
There's a lot of what?
You have a lot of these unit facts in your notebook already. Mm-hmm. Anybody think they know where? What page has that chart? What page was that chart on that I gave you? Yeah, page 25 is going to be your friend today, okay? Page 25 is full of unit facts. And interpreting this table is also important. So when you're figuring things out today, a hint, you need to use this chart and you need to start getting familiar with what it says, what it tells you. Can't talk today, what it tells you. Okay, so here's a couple of visuals. Okay, when you have a liter, which hopefully you can imagine a liter, you know the big cold drink bottles, the 2 liters? Cut it in half. Okay, can you imagine that kind of in your head? Cut it in half. That is equal to 1,000 milliliters all the time. No matter what. There's always 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter. And a milliliter is like 20 little drops of water. So if you imagine taking 20 little drops of water and putting it into a beaker, how many times? 1,000, so 1,000 times 20. Okay, that would give you a liter. So what's bigger, a liter or a milliliter?
A liter.
A liter. Okay, this idea of what's bigger is going to be really important when you're doing dimensional analysis. Okay, here's another visual. Kind of relates to our hot tub thinking before. All right, tell your group, what is bigger, a liter or a kiloliter?
Kiloliter.
I don't know.
All right, what's bigger, Rachel, a liter or a kiloliter? Beautiful. Do you know how many times bigger it is?
1,000.
Okay, 1,000 is correct. You need 1,000 of those half 2-liter bottles to make that hot tub. Okay, one more visual. Oops. Okay, I told you yesterday that your finger is what? Or the other day I told you? 1 centimeter across. So, how many of your fingers would it take to make a meter?
100.
Okay, 100. And if you want to try it sometime, come get my meter stick and count across, see if your finger is actually a centimeter. Okay? Now, remember, our body parts are different, right? So that's why we have the standard unit of measurement. Okay? So keep these kind of visuals in mind and this idea of what's bigger and what's smaller. Okay, last key point. To convert using dimensional analysis, you must cancel units. I've italicized it because that's an important part of the key point. So you might want to italicize it or make it really bold. Okay? Canceling units is really important. And you must also use these things that I call train tracks. Hold that up.
They're kind of deep, Tiffany.
I'll send them in about 5 minutes. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to show you one, maybe 2 examples of this whole canceling out business, as well as what train tracks look like. And then, like I said before, it's going to be your job to figure out how to do dimensional analysis with a partner. Okay? So I'm going to give you a little bit of clues. Okay? But then you're going to kind of go off onto your own and really, really figure it out.
Can I ask you a question?
Yep. I have to go to a conference with Miss Tom. Yeah. I don't know what that was. All right, so. All right, you are going to shortly get a piece of paper that has this on it. Okay? So I would make sure I'm looking at this slide really carefully because you're about to get a piece of paper with this on it. Okay, now this is number 5. So you're going to do a few things about this. But I want to point out some things to you. Okay? When you are canceling units, you are doing what we did, I think it was last week when we did the fractions. Remember we talked about that? The math minutes? Was it maybe that was a couple weeks ago? Okay, you're going to be canceling units that are living inside these things called train tracks. Okay? So if you've done that, it's great. Okay, this is going to kind of look like train tracks because you see a multiplication sign and you see these lines. My chemistry teacher called them train tracks in high school, so that's what I call them. So you're going to be constructing or filling in train tracks. And then you're going to be canceling units. So what did I just cancel? Raise your hand if you can tell us why I get to cancel centimeters in that particular example. Venetia, why?
Because you're trying to turn it into meters.
Trying to turn into meters. Any other ideas? Diego? Right. Any other thoughts? Gabby? One on the top, one on the bottom, so you can cancel out. Any other ideas? Just still your ideas? Okay, you can cancel if it's top and bottom, but notice they're diagonal, and that's okay. Is there anything else that cancels in number 7?
Meters?
Why?
Because
On top and bottom. So guys, I'm giving you some clues. I'm giving you some hints. These are things you're going to be thinking about when you're on your own. Okay, so I've given you a tip. Okay, you're going to be canceling units you start with to end up with units that you want. So another hint. Okay, you should end your train track. The top right corner of your train track should be the unit that you're trying to get your answer into. Okay, so the whole point of this is you're converting between units. conversion factors, which are facts, and you're setting up these things called train tracks to get the right answer. Okay? What I'm about to do is give you your paper. You're going to find a partner that you would like to work with, either in your group or outside of your group, and you're going to work to figure out the worksheet and figure out how to do dimensional analysis. As you figure it out, if you have questions, ask each other. If you both can't figure it out, ask another group. If none of you can figure it out, call me over and I'll help you. You will need a calculator, you will need your brain, and you will need page 25 of your notebook. Any questions before I get started? Okay, one last little piece. Thank you for waiting, Hannah. I want you to keep in mind that you're doing this so that you can create the connections in your brain on your own, so hopefully it will stick. And I want you to think about our values. What value do you think we might need to be thinking about a lot when we're figuring new things out? Grit, hope, and grit. Okay? And I even think like self, because you could be self-advocating. Okay, so keep that in mind. Be perseverant, be hopeful that you can get it, and advocate for yourself when you need it. Alright, so papers are coming out, lights are coming on. Take one, pass them around. Again, you choose your partner. Make sure it's someone that will push you, someone you can work with well. Alright, lights coming on. 2. Yeah, once you have it for your group, pass it back.
It's like a little one. I wasn't old enough for that. I couldn't find one there.
You don't want a partner?
Alright, so let's take a shadow worksheet. Start at the top. You should also have a partner. Any other actions? I love it. I already see people crossing things out. Everybody got a worksheet? 1 hour. Yeah, she wanted y'all to go. Yeah, come on. She wants you to go Do you want to simplify?
Okay, how do we do this?
Yeah.
Alright, Antoinette, and the one on right this out.
Wait, it's over here.
Oh. 1 year, 65 days, 1 hour.
Now you're kind of, yeah, you're filling in the blanks. So if you look through the rest of the sheet, you'll see what you get by information. So what do you think?